10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yo, Tech, start the video, fam.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Yes, yes. Hey, sorry about the delay, technical difficulties. Just trying to get everything working. But it's another chart check with tech, right? So let's start it off. Hey, got that out the way. And yeah, chart check with tech. So if you see in the thumbnail, I'm going to talk about the charts I want to look at are going to be Ethereum. And I also want to take a look at, for Forex, I'm going to just pick any chart that looks good and then I'm going to mark it up. And then like what I'll do is I want to do something where like the next week we go back and look at if it played out or not. So I'm going to start doing that. And I'll start with CAD JPY, the Canadian dollar to Japanese yen, because that one actually played out. It didn't go to the final target that we were looking for, but we did get to my first target. So I'm going to just show what happened on that trade. And then, but I'll talk about Ethereum first, because that's like the hot topic right now. Ethereum is about to get back to its all-time high. So a lot of people are looking for that, which is why I wanted to cover Ethereum. So that's what's up. Let me just switch over to, let me get this going. One sec. Let's go to chat. Okay, so this is Ethereum's chart right here. I'm going to zoom in first of all so you guys can see this chart. Now, I'm going to do it on this screen. Easier. Okay, so I've been covering this this chart for a while back, because when I first started looking at Ethereum at the beginning of the year, from last year actually, I saw this area, and then we had this major resistance area. We came down, we broke above it, and now we tested it as support. We actually came and tapped it twice, and then we started this uptrend right here. So let me zoom into this part here. It makes more sense. And I'll make this line thicker. So as you can see, we have this uptrend right here, and we've been getting multiple taps along this area. Just gonna highlight that. So here, here. Price in all of these areas, price has been, breaking above and then finding support, broke above this area, and then if you see, if I extend this line across, it found support right here and bounced off of this trend line. So the last area for it to break, see, this resistance was what was holding it down. So you see 1, 2, 3, and then this little tap here, and then finally broke above it. So now what we're kind of looking for is for Ethereum to be able to retest this area here and then finally break above and go into price discovery. So right now Ethereum's price is 39.58. So it actually hit 4,000 last week, or within the week it hit 4,000, and then it just came back down, but it's still holding above. So we have to see if we get a retracement into here, if it will hold above, which I think it will, because right now we're going into a part of the bull run where I'm gonna actually, I could look at that chart later to show you the Bitcoin dominance. It's a very, very interesting chart. It basically shows the strength of Bitcoin to the rest of the coins that are in crypto. And then when the dominance falls, usually the altcoins, which is all the other coins minus Bitcoin, are usually get a push up because of that. So Bitcoin has to kind of make room for these other coins to run, which I'll show you on the chart. And then we start getting some flow into the other altcoins. And Ethereum is usually the second mover because it's the second biggest coin, right? So this probably might happen by the end of the year or early Q1 of next year. So that's what a lot of people are looking for. And it's most likely going to happen because the market's bullish right now. And that's what's up. Like, so that's pretty much it I'm looking for. Let's see if now I want to actually go into another chart that I'm going to do a markup. But just before that, I'll show the Bitcoin dominance chart because I think that chart is really interesting. I usually have music playing. What am I doing? Let me see if I can get music in here. Okay. So I don't hear myself talk. I don't want to just hear myself talking. That's better. If anyone's in the chat, let me know if you can hear the music, because I don't know. That's the thing about streaming. Sometimes you have stuff on and then I'll play it back later. I'll be like, okay, all those sounds that I was playing, I didn't hear any of them. So yeah, if you're in the chat, if you could let me know if the music is playing, if you hear it, that's good. But I'll just continue because I could hear it. I don't know if you could hear it. So what was I doing now? Okay, so we're gonna go here. Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, here we go. Self out the way. Probably just put it down here. This screen to get it out the way, but I'll just keep it here for now. Anyways, so this is why this chart is really interesting, because I'm gonna actually show this part too. So this, going back as far as 2016, we had that US election, right? And that's when Donald Trump was first became president. And shortly after, so this would be from January, and that was January 2017, Bitcoin dominance fell in January 2017. And then if you want to, let's duplicate this chart so I can show another one. So let's go back to January 2017. Okay, so this is January 2017. I'm going to mark this out right here. It's not January 2017. Let's go back a little further. Here. Oh, the chart, the chart stops, but this is 2017 basically. It doesn't give me enough data to go back that far. I'll just put a solid line here, because you'll still be able to see what I'm talking about. So after January 2017, when you had the election, this is Bitcoin going up. So it went from around 3,000 or 4,000 around there, but it was lower. I just can't see the rest of the chart, but it went all the way up to around 20K, right? Let's say it went to around 20K. So let's flip back to this chart. That was when the Bitcoin dominance was falling. So that's the strength that Bitcoin has over the rest of the other altcoins. Then if you fast forward and you go to, this is the year 2020, 2021. So we had a Bitcoin halving, then we had the election, and this is when Joe Biden became president. Joe Biden became president and was inaugurated in 2021. Right? So over here, you had the Bitcoin dominance fall starting in January. So let's go to 2021 on Bitcoin's chart. So this is the crazy thing, right? Like if you see, so 2021 starts here, January. This is January 2021. And Bitcoin went from 33K all the way up to 60K. So as you see, as the Bitcoin dominance was falling over the market, at the same time, Bitcoin went on a crazy run from 30K to about 60K, right? So now you see, and this is every 4 years. So this is 4 years. Obviously the presidential election happens and then you're president for 4 years. So the Bitcoin halving also happens every 4 years. I'm not going to explain that, but if you can Google Bitcoin halving and you can see what it's about. I'll probably do a video later on, but anyways, then we fast forward. This is 2024. We had the Bitcoin halving this year in around April. And then we had the election. Obviously, you know who won. So Trump won. And now in January, he's going to have his inauguration. So I have this marked out right here, altcoin season. And that would be in January. And this is where you would have the, right here, I'll show you. The only difference that happened this year was Bitcoin just took off, right? It took off after the halving. So the halving already happened back here. Where's April? Yeah. So right here, the halving happened here at this orange line. And then Bitcoin started running up all the way to, obviously everyone knows that it hit 100K. But the same thing that happened those previous years where the dominance starts falling is happening now. As you can see, it's happening actually earlier than it did in previous years. So this should run into 2025, which is why a lot of people are buying altcoins, because they're anticipating that if we have the dominance fall like crazy, just have a big fall, then all the other altcoins are going to start getting a push up, especially the fact that now every time we have a Bitcoin halving and then Bitcoin goes on a run, it's usually going to go higher than it did the previous year. So obviously this was 2021, and then we made that top, and now we finally came up here, we broke that and created a new high at the halving, then we came down, and now we're at an all-time high. So this is why if you're hearing people say that you should get involved in the market being crypto, it's because we're having that cycle that happens every 4 years. Because obviously during this time, this was during the lockdowns and everything, and Bitcoin fell all the way down to like 15K. So a lot of people, like right now during this time, you couldn't make no money in altcoins, but now the condition is favorable to make money with altcoins now. You just have to know what you're doing. Obviously, crypto probably has like the craziest scams, like that you wouldn't even think of. So you got to be careful. But there's a lot of money you can make if you follow the right groups, Telegrams, Discords, X or whatever it used to be called, Twitter. But like you got to find the right groups and see what people are talking about. One of the things I like to do is join those spaces like Clubhouse or the ones that are on X, and then just listen to what people are talking about. And if there's accounts that you follow on YouTube that you've been following for a long time and are giving good information, then you want to keep up to date with that. So anyways, that is my take on the market right now. Like I said, we're going into 2025. The first quarter is usually the best. If you're already holding altcoins, the first quarter is like, that's a good time to make a lot of profit in crypto, which is why a lot of people are investing for that. But what I'm going to do next right now is I'm going to get to the Forex stuff. And I'm going to just show every week when I do this, I just pretty much show how I would look at a chart and I mark it up the way that I do it. I wonder if this music, now I'm starting to wonder if this music is too loud. Let's see. I don't think so. It looks all right to me. All right, so let's get into the Forex stuff. And I'm gonna find, I need to find a chart that doesn't really matter what chart I do. Let's just find something to do. And you could let me, if anyone trades Forex or they are learning, you guys could kind of, like, if you want in the chat, you could let me know if there's one that you want me to look at. Like maybe I could do, I want something that's gonna go tonight, because London session is 3 a.m. to 3 a.m. I want something that will move probably by tonight. Let's look at this pair. This is the New Zealand Japanese yen. So I'm gonna do this the way that I always do it. We start on the weekly, and I'm gonna get rid of all of these fibs. It's fine, I'll leave it like this. So if I zoom out, you can see we're in this, at least from right here. Yeah, we're in an uptrend, right? But what I want to get is the last bit of structure so that I can find out where to make a move. So I'll start from here. And I'm just gonna mark up the structure that I see. So this area looks like it's a little bit tricky. Actually have to zoom in to see what's happening right there. Yeah, I'm taking this as a break of structure. So there's some areas that are tricky sometimes when you are trying to mark up the structure, but this is what we have. So I'm going to move this down here. I'm going to zoom out so we can all take a look. This one's a little tricky, but I think I figured it out. I think I figured this one out. So we had a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Pretty much a structure going up all the way until we got to this level right here. And then we had a break of structure. So price broke structure here. And then we had a lower low, lower high, lower low. And then we broke structure again in this area right here. So let's clone that. I'm going to zoom in again so you can see. So right here, as you can see, this was a higher high, and it never continued the structure going down. So from here it went down, and then it made a higher high again. And then, as you can see right here, then we broke everything. So if you clone this, put it here, we broke structure going down. So this is where I start putting information on the chart of what's happening. So let's actually, I just want to get something from another chart. Copy this so I can use it over here. I don't even know if you can see this, but basically it just says weekly, daily, 4 hour, and then under that it has a 2 hour and a 1 hour. So what I want to do is, the first one's already done for me. It looks like it says D for down. So I want to know that the weekly is going down, right? So now we already have the direction of the weekly. Now I'm going to go down to the daily, and I want to find out what's going on the daily time frame. So we had this crazy push down. So pretty much it's just a down. This is also down because there's no other structure that's lower here that it could change the direction. So it's all of this right here. Like once you find out this area, which I have to actually go back and mark up the levels so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's go back to the week, and I'm gonna put the last structure that I see, which is here. This is the high, which is, and then this is the low of that. Now we have the daily, which is also heading down. Starting from here all the way down to here. And then the last one I want the levels for is the 4 hour time frame. So 4 hours just heading down. You can tell it hasn't broken any structure to go up. So I just have to mark the last level that I see, which is here. I could put it here, but I don't want it in the way, so I'm going to put it back here and right here. So let me just change this one because this is also down. Okay, so all three time frames are in sync. The weekly, daily, 4-hour are all in sync. So next what we have to do is now we're looking for any area where the price could pull back, right? The thing that's tricky about this area here I would say right now, I don't like this chart. Only reason why is because the move that I would have been waiting for would have been this move down when it broke under here, but it already made that move. And this is the thing, like if you're trading like multiple pairs, you're gonna have ones that have already moved and then they're just too risky to get into, like this one right here. So I could move to another chart if we find something different. I literally just do that same thing over and over again on every chart until I find one that has a good setup. Let's check out. There's too much going on. This let's do this one. This is the Euro CAD. What about the Euro USD? If you guys have any questions too, you can let me know. I'm gonna get rid of some of this stuff. I kind of stay away from US pairs sometimes because of the news. Like when you get news, it's just easier for me to like trade pairs that don't have a lot of news, like big news, like US news. Actually, this one's not bad. Only thing about Aussie CAD, it's not gonna move during Euro session. New Zealand. Let's look at this. Okay, so the week's already mapped out, made a higher high. What about the daily? Let me see what the daily is saying. To go down and then broke structure to go back up. Okay, so right here, This one's good. I like this. So with Euro New Zealand, let me just go back, recap what I did here. So I went and found the structure on the weekly time frame. So I'm just going to do it quick so you can see, because some of it was already done. So because I was looking at this previously. So here, like if you know that there's a full structure that's higher than this, sometimes you can skip all of this nonsense right here. I already know this because I've been doing it a while, but this is higher than this level here. So you got to take the last structure. The last structure, oh shoot. Okay, so when I move it down here, all I care about is the last structure that it made, which in that case was this high that it's on its way to make right now, and then this this low, this higher low right here, right? I don't even know if you can see that, but I will make it black. And yeah, so I only care about this area here. So when you see me put on the chart this and this, the higher low and the higher high, that's the weekly area. So the W right here for the weekly, right? And then I went down to the daily and I had to do the same thing. So this is all like consolidation right here, but there's still structure that you can find within that, because we already know that this was the highest high that it made, and then price was coming down in this area here. So I'll mark it out with this. So these are roughly around the same height, but if you just go from the top, the highest one here, and then we broke structure to go up here, and then it's been continuously, well, I don't know, let's zoom in. Yeah, it did break, and then it broke and went back up. So I'll show you that last bit right there. It came here. These are roughly the same height, but this one came down and then this broke up. So what that looks like is here. Yeah, so it did this. So basically it was in the uptrend from here. It broke this level right here. As you can see, this level is higher. Then it went up, and then it never broke it on this one. This one was roughly the same height, but this one did. So all you have to do is you just take this and move it over here, and you see that this level got broken when it came down here. And then if you move this level over here, then you can see that this level got broken again and it went up. So that's why I have the green daily levels right here and here. So I know the daily is in an uptrend. As you can see, the arrow is up, and as you can see in this one, the arrow is up, the weekly is up, the daily is up. And now when I go down to the 4 hour, when I wanted to find the direction, I could just see clearly that we had this here. This is just the ending of it, and then it broke here, came here, up here, came here, and then we're here. So if I just take this level, if I just take this last bit here, I'll just use this here again. So it was in a downtrend here, down, and then you had it break above here, and it kept on breaking above, so it never came back down. So I know that this is also up. So if I go to the weekly, so the weekly I had as an uptrend going up, And then I had the daily, I had an uptrend going up, and then also had on the 4-hour going up. So all 3 time frames are in sync. So now all I want to do is try to find an area where price can retrace, or I can get a bounce, whatever the case is. So I will look first on, let's go back to the weekly. So, okay. So let's say let me get this out of the way. This anymore. So that's my area of interest number 1. I could explain how I'm choosing these levels, but it's going to take a long time. But I know what I'm looking for. But so here, which is coincidentally, this line that you see running through the chart is a 50 EMA. So coincidentally, it lines up with the area that I'm looking for. And then you have your psychological level. This is a strong level too. Now, this is the thing about, even though I have these levels here, you really want to find these levels when the price is trending. Right now, this is not trending. This is consolidation. So like, I don't really actually need this level here, because I know that if price stays, if it gets rejected right here, it's just going to keep bouncing in this. It's going to keep bouncing in this area right here. Right. So what I'm actually looking for would be if this could break above here and then bounce in this area, because I already got the bounce on this level that I was looking for. If it could bounce up here, then I would want to take a trade up to at least this resistance right here. So I'm actually going to look for that. And then if it gets if it doesn't pass this high right here and it gets rejected, then I'm going to want to, well, it's still an uptrend right now. For now, it's an uptrend. So in order for it to, if it breaks down and then comes here and gets a bounce here, then I'd be looking to take it back down to that, this level right here. or it could even fall back to this level. Probably do this and then just come down to like this level right here. It's in consolidation. Usually, like when you're learning, you don't really want to, like what you actually want is when the chart is doing something like this. Like when it's just trending, right? That's the best trade you can take, is when the market is doing a clear trend. When it's in consolidation, it's kind of more tricky, but it's still good. I just have to be patient and wait for it to see if it's going to break above here. And we'll come back to this. We'll see at the end of the week if I go live again. If it breaks above here, then I'll take a trade up to this level here. If it breaks below, then I'll be looking to see if I could get in to go short. But I'm actually more looking for it to go up, since all the time frames are already showing they're all going up. I didn't change these yet though, just so I can remember. Up. So this is what I'm looking for, just pretty much this, and then we'll come back to this and see if this actually happens. I will show you the trade that I took from last week now, which was CAD JPY. So just remember this one. This was the Euro New Zealand. I'm just going to actually keep that there. And go to CAD JPY, because this was the trade that I took. I'm not going to do the whole breakdown, but this is what I saw. So I seen price come down here, and then it made lower low. It broke structure here, and then I seen it come back down here. And then on the lower time frame, what I did was, so let's move this out the way so you can see where the price broke structure, which was over here. It came back. So when you see like these little structures that are in between, don't let that confuse you, because that's not what you're really looking for. The overall structure, like just pretend that this was like a straight line. You don't really want to get confused with that. You want to look at the bigger structure and see where that's going. Although the little structures matter if they break, but just for this one, you can clearly see that we're still like, unless it breaks below this level right here, it's still an uptrend after it broke this. So that's what happened. It broke structure right here. It came down, bounced, and then I went down to the lower time frame. I think I was the 30-minute after I seen it break, and it held right here. You see how I have this line right here? That's the area that I zoomed into. Yeah. So all the way in here. Once you already have your setup, you can go as low to a time frame as you want. So all I did was I drew this second trend line here, as you can see. I'll just make it darker. And I waited for this one to break on a smaller time frame. So even though you see all of that, those lines and markups and whatever lines that you see on the chart, the trade is really, the trade was only from here to here. That's it. Like you see, like that's the thing about trading. You could see all of this coming from up here, and you're just waiting. I seen it break structure here, it comes back up, and then you're waiting all the way here. And then you finally get another break of structure. So I'll show you where the smaller break of structure was. It's just literally just this area right here. All this is noise. It's just pretty much this. But this one actually does matter right here. This one matters because this is the one that broke, which was the actual trade. So you just wait for that. So it was a downtrend, and I had the trend line there, and then you seen where it broke right here, and it went higher. So then once I seen that and then it come back down, the actual trade is right here. So that's the entry. And then you can run a fib if you want. I think I need a darker fib for streaming because I don't even know if you guys could even see that. It only retraced back to 38.2, and usually the TP is the -27. The only reason why I would hold it to the -61.8 on the fib is because this gray box here, I already know that this is the area, because you're seeing when price was, I'll show you why so it makes more sense. Yeah, when price broke down, it came here and it made a resistance in this area, and this was a support, and then it flipped to resistance. So this is a zone, which is why these are all blue, but this is gray. This is the zone that I'm actually looking at, and you see it bounce over here again, and then you've seen it bounce here again. So when I took this trade after it bouncing this many times, I knew that I wanted it to come back up to this zone. So that's why the trade is only to this zone. You wouldn't try to go higher because this is actually a very strong area. And if you go down to so that alone is a 50 pip move, which is good depending on what you want to place as your lot size. If you're trading Forex, 50 pips is amazing. And yeah, that's the end of the trade, because in this particular pair, it wasn't actually like the weekly was bearish to go down, the daily was bearish, and the only one that was bullish was the 4 hour. So you're going against, this is actually a counter trend trade, so you're kind of going against the grain with this one. So you know that you have to get out as soon as possible because the higher time frames are already showing that they want to go lower. But I'm trying to trade up just to get the retrace for it to go lower. And then as you can see, once it came up there and hit this level, then you see it price just broke down. So now I already know that the higher time frames are bearish. But now I also know that the 4 hour, shit, let's go to the 4 hour and see if the 4 hour is bearish now. So that was the break up, and then we never got a higher high, but we got a lower low. So now the 4 hour is from, oh, don't want to do that. So the 4 hours from here now to down here. So now all the time frames are headed down. So you got to do the same routine again. The only thing I can do if I want to get into a trade on the CAD JPY is I have to wait for some type of retracement back up here so that I can head lower. So right now there's nothing that I want to trade because the price is already moving. By the way, when I'm trading, I'm looking for swing trade setups. I used to try to look for scalps. It wasn't working for me. Although once I get better at doing these swing trades on these higher time frames, I can start looking for smaller time frame trades. It's just a headache because it's like the price is moving so fast in different directions. It's just easier when you're trading the higher time frame because the move and the direction is more stronger. So that's kind of why I made that switch. But yeah, in the sense of what's happening in this trade right now, all the time frames are down. If I want to find, like I said, if I want to find another trade, I could wait for, let me see if this is a 30-minute time frame. I could wait for this, whatever's happening here. So in order for a trade to be in this area, as you can, like, I don't know if you guys know about divergence, but the one thing you can notice that's happening on this chart is you see how price right here is making these lower lows and going lower. This is a momentum indicator down here, the RSI. But if you notice, as the price is making lower lows here, down there it's making higher, it's going higher. So that's divergence. So it's giving you an indication that the price going to the downside is weaker. It's getting weaker and it wants to go up. As you can see, it broke this one level here, but it needs to actually break, depends if this level is, yeah, it needs to break this level here, up here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, so if I want to take a trade, I would need price to come above here, maybe retest here, and then maybe find like a small trade here. And there's a lot of range that needs to be filled, but I still don't trust it. I really don't want to counter. I mean, it's not a counter trend trade. It is a counter trend trade if I trade up. So what I would actually wait for is if price does come back up here, then I want to see if it can get all the way back up in here. Actually, before it even gets to that area, it might not even be able to pass this. This is like the first area that I want to see it get to. So I probably won't even try to counter trend. Look at the EMA, how it's coming right here. So I'm actually looking at this area. If it comes back there and we get a bounce here, I might be able to trade down from this level here. And if it breaks that, I might be able to trade down from this level here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. So CAD JPY, I'm gonna wait to until this would be. I wouldn't take this trade tonight because this would be New York session. I'll look for a trade here. And the other one that we looked at was Euro New Zealand. We're waiting it to see if it breaks above here to see if we can get a trade there. And that's pretty much how I break down the chart. And I'm gonna leave it like that. Now, I do have a video that's gonna be coming up early, maybe sometime next week. I have a video that's coming up. It's just gonna be, I'm just gonna show you a preview of. Look at my camera. This is where all the magic happens. But I have a video coming up, which is this one here, the base time video. If you guys know anything about the base chain, it's probably going to be the most moving chain in 2025 because, as you can see, Trump got voted in as president, and now he has his whole cabinet is like they're all crypto, like they love crypto. So and he fired Gary Gensler, I think that's how you say his name, who was the one that was putting all these cases against all of these different crypto projects, and now they removed him. So that's like a huge catalyst for crypto to run in 2025. So I'm just saying that you need, if you're not involved, at least you should start researching and try to see if there's anything, any knowledge you could soak up early. Like I'm talking about within the first quarter of the year, because I think it's going to be a crazy year. And yeah, so look out for that video. It's base time. I want to drop it within the earlier part of the week, but at least I'm just going to say for the week, and then you'll see whenever I drop it. But that's all I really want to talk about for now. I got my two setups that I'm looking for. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, people. I had some technical difficulties today, which is why, like, I usually want to start this at 7 o'clock. And I will eventually get to it. But for now, I did it at 8 o'clock just so I could fix some things. Like and subscribe, like I said. Turn on the bell notifications anytime I go live. Yeah, anytime I go live, I'm gonna let you know, and let's get it. So let's sign off, and you know I gotta drop the sounds when I leave. Okay, so yeah, that was chart. Let me go back to the main screen. Sounds. Okay, so yeah, that was Chart Check with Tech. I go live every week on Sundays from 7 p.m. Turn on the bell notifications, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to see in terms of charts that I break down. Like I could do gold, I could do some other ones too. So just let me know in the chat, or let me know in the comments what charts you want to see me break down, and then I'll kind of just look at it on Sunday when I do the live stream. Look out for it's base time video that's going to be coming out in the week. And yeah, let's get it. Thank you for watching, and take care. I'm gonna leave it right there.